All right. Now I want to deal with a few things here real quick. Well, not a few things. I want to deal with one thing. I just heard Dana White's uh, saying that he's going to do the trilogy. Okay. He wants the trilogy. He sounds like he's going to do it. Now, I personally don't want a trilogy. I want to see both of these two fighters fight someone else. I'm tired of seeing them fight. Okay? I've seen your styles matched up against each other enough for my own personal satisfaction. And I'm just tired of watching them fight. But if the fight's going to happen, I am going to watch it. But it probably won't be an inconvenience for the division because, from what I hear, they're going to now make Manon versus Blanchfield. Right? Fior versus Blanchfield. And that's a good eliminator to have alongside the trilogy if they're going to do the trilogy. That way, obviously, whoever wins that fight fights the winner of Grasso-Shevchenko. But Dana White sounds like he wants the trilogy. So I guess it's going to happen. I honestly did not think the trilogy would happen because he was reluctant to make the immediate rematch. So I thought after this fight, there's no way they're going to have a immediate trilogy, but that is what it looks like it's about to happen. Now I made a video. I made a video on YouTube yesterday. I think it was yesterday, where I talked about why I believe Alexa Grasso actually won. Well, not won that round. I believe Grasso won that round, the last round, round 5, 10-9, not 10-8. I believe Grasso won round 5, 10-9, not 10-8. And honestly, I think there's an honest argument for Grasso winning round 4, 5, and round 2. 2, 4, and 5. Very good argument there for Grasso. So I want to say that this is a draw. Look at how split people are. And look at how good of an argument there is for both sides. Look at how everybody was saying it was even going into round 5, and then basically say that Grasso and Shevchenko split round 5. This is exactly the type of fight you call a draw. So, in that regard, the judges combined got it right. I mean, can we admit that much? It's not easy to determine who won. I can admit that much. And in a fight like that, that's the definition of a draw. So I don't think a draw is a bad decision. I don't think that's a bad decision to call that draw. Like, hey, neither one of you won decisively. I could see people saying that. They give credit to Valentina's moments where she was using mainly her boxing, but she threw some kicks in there. But all of Shevchenko's success was striking from distance. All of Valentina's success was striking from distance. Aside from she had a guillotine attempt and she was on top for a minute with Grasso. But a couple times, Grasso just popped right back up. Valentina would take her down. Grasso would pop right back up for the most part. But Grasso's moments were bigger. There's no debating that. Grasso had bigger moments start to finish all throughout the fight. There's no denying that. And somebody mentioned, I think it was, who was that? Mentioned 1FC's scoring criteria and how 1FC looks at the entire scope of the fight. They don't score by rounds. They just look at the entirety of the contest and decide who did a better job, who was more impactful, who had a stronger presence, who had more dominance. And that is a very logical way to score a fight. I'm saying that people talk about this judging criteria as if it's the holy grail and the one and only way to look at a fight. That's why I don't get into this. Oh, it was not a 10-8, it was a 10-9 and Shevchenko should be the champion. Yes, it was a 10-9. No, I don't believe Valentina should be the champion right now. Valentina was conquered. I need all the Shevchenko fanatics to just accept that. She has been conquered and defeated. Legitimately, nobody stole nothing from her. Valentina has not done to Grasso yet the things that Grasso has done to her. Grasso has done several things to Valentina that Valentina has not yet done to Grasso. But there's really nothing that Shevchenko has done to Grasso that Grasso has not also done to her. Valentina, most things she's done to Grasso is hit her with a kick. Well, let's say kick. I don't remember Grasso landing any kicks on Valentina. She may have kicked her in the leg. But Valentina landed some good body shots. She landed some kicks to the body. I don't remember Grasso throwing no body kick. Another flaw with Grasso. But aside from the body kick, all Shevchenko did to Grasso was land some jabs and some straight left hands. By that same note, Grasso landed some jabs and some straight right hands and left hands because Grasso ambidextrous. But along with that, Grasso was wailing away on Shevchenko, having her pinned down or pinned to the cage or tied up something. She would subdue and physically restrain Valentina and wail away on her in these moments, these outbursts of violence. You ask me, Valentina has been legitimately figured out and defeated. And people not giving Grasso credit for that. Grasso did the unthinkable. She was able to defeat Valentina legitimately on the scorecards and finish her. That rematch, I think there's a legitimate argument for Grasso winning that decision. I think round 5, 4, and 2 can be legitimately, without a stretch of the imagination at all, legitimately and very fairly given to Grasso. So through and through, I believe Grasso has demonstrated a slight ability to best Shevchenko. I made a video yesterday, I think, or a day before yesterday, that I think has been shadow banned because I can't find it on my channel anymore. It was a live stream. Y'all see? It's no longer on my channel, but I can still watch it myself. So I guess UFC maybe did a copyright, but on that video, I showed the video footage of the moments where Grasso was just wailing away. Look at this moment right here. Again, ONE FC looks at the entire scope of the fight. So you can't say that I'm looking at it and looking at the fight in an unreasonable way. Nobody can say that. I'm basically using the same criteria as ONE FC. Valentina had no moments like this. And it looked bad. Them two knees, unanswered knees to body. Then Grasso just started crashing her, just tearing her up with elbows and punches, hooks and uppercuts, unanswered shots. I counted the shots live. Grasso landed like 17 strikes, and Valentina responded with a 1-2. 2 strikes. Chael Sonnen recently pointed this out as well. He said that while he doesn't agree that round 5 was a 10-8 round, he does understand that the ref could have stopped the fight in that moment when Valentina was on the mat getting wailed on, just accepting the blows. Some, especially with a female fight, some of those fights get stopped when you get moments like that. Why is it that so many times Shevchenko comes to the edge of getting stopped by Grasso, or she actually does get stopped? When you look at the fight from, or using the 1FC criteria, I think you see a totally different fight. People can only really make arguments for Valentina winning the fight by first breaking them down round by round and dismissing the extent of Grasso's successful moments compared to the extent of Shevchenko's successful moments. Like I said, in that video that I talked about, that's for some reason not available for subscribers right now, I dealt with this moment right here and how humiliating it was. This position is a far worse position to be in than if you were standing on your feet absorbing jabs. Although Grasso did this at 1:30 left in the 5th, it was enough, in my opinion, to score the round for her, because her moment was bigger and more memorable and inflicted more damage. It was more damaging, got people out of their seat. I would have gave that last round to Alexa Grasso. But in this fight, and in the first fight, you got Grasso winning rounds, which is another thing that was rare. It was really unheard of during Valentina's reign. Isn't that right? It's only when she run up against Taylor Santos do she start losing rounds. And people said, oh, it's because Santos is a good ground fighter. Grasso lost all the moments striking. I mean, not Grasso, but Taylor Santos. But Grasso didn't lose all the moments striking. That knockdown. Where was Valentina's knockdown? And why is it that fans don't give credit to knockdowns? Knockdowns are a big deal in my book. You know, people, y'all can score it however you want. Knockdown's a big deal in my book. And that was the most embarrassing type of knockdown you could ever suffer, in my opinion, without being knocked out cold. The worst type of way to get knocked down is for you to take a shot, flush, head on, and you to fall straight back with so much force, you do a backflip. So you basically punched them into that backflip. You hit them so hard, they did a backflip. That's what she did to Valentina. I ain't about to ignore that. Y'all can ignore. I'm going to take a picture of that and frame it. Y'all out here tripping, man, not giving Grasso her proper credit. She went in here and did the unthinkable. Y'all remember a couple years ago, I tried to bring it to people's attention why Shevchenko was the best pound for pound fighter we ever seen. And people were arguing with me, no. And I pointed to the fact, I said, look at the fact that we don't have any still images of Valentina with her face distorted. Y'all remember I talked about that? I'm like, look at all these other fighters. With all these other fighters, you can find a whole bunch of images of them getting hit, absorbing strikes, and their faces is distorted. Their face will be so distorted, you don't even recognize their face. It wasn't until Shevchenko fought Grasso did we have several images like that available to us. And nobody's giving Grasso credit for that accomplishment. That's an accomplishment. And me pointing this out is also me pointing out Valentina's greatness. I'm talking about how it was an accomplishment for Grasso to simply land strikes on Valentina. That's pretty epic. You know? Yes, the 10-8 was crazy. Here, let me switch screens. Because I'm looking at something. I'm reading something. I'm doing too much right now. I'm up here talking and reading at the same time. But this is what I've been seeing. People going on and on about 10-8, 10-8, 10-8. It wasn't a 10-8. It wasn't a 10. Okay, it wasn't a 10-8. I agree. It was not a 10-8. But Grasso won that fight. It was not a 10-8. But none of you would have wanted to be Valentina in that fight. It wasn't a 10-8. But those moments when Valentina was getting wailed on was humiliating. It wasn't a 10-8. But Shevchenko never humiliated Grasso like that. Shevchenko never neutralized Grasso like that. Made it impossible for Grasso to use her weapons. She never sunned Grasso like, again, those fraternities have humiliation rituals for a reason. That's your way of showing your loyalty. You have to humble yourself. You have to be brought back down to the level you were when you were a newborn. Humiliation is a huge deal in combat sports. People, don't you ever hear these fighters talking about how I'm going to embarrass you, I'm going to humiliate you? And Shevchenko in these moments was degraded and humiliated. That is not how you want to see. That's not a position you want to see your favorite fighter in. Yet, if I saw my favorite fighter absorbing the jabs that Grasso was absorbing, I wouldn't think nothing of that. That's not humiliating. That's a battle. Y'all throwing bombs at each other. That's not degrading. That's not embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Bottom line, Grasso embarrassed Valentina in both fights. Choked her out in that first fight. It looked bad. It stopped her. Valentina is yet to stop Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso defeated Valentina. She conquered her and took her belt. And that's why she's still the champion. She's still the champion because Valentina has not done to Grasso what Grasso has done to her. And that's over the course of 2 fights. Granted, Shevchenko would make a better champion. But that's all opinion. It's legit to believe Grasso would make a better champion because she's willing to turn her aggression all the way up to 10. Why don't we consider that when we look at the scorecards? Which fighter went all out and actually went for it? Those moments are rewarded by Dana White. He pretty much based whether or not he give you a contract on that. Do you go for it? You ain't going for it if all you throwing is jabs. But if you doing the stuff Grasso doing, you going for it. You showing spirit. Grasso's proven to have more dog in her than Valentina. where she's like, I don't care what you throw at me, Valentina. I'm about to tee off on you. I'm about to land a 17 strike combination on you. Those are big moments. And there were too many moments like that for me to say Valentina defeated Grasso. In that rematch, from this seat, Valentina did not defeat Alexa Grasso. No, no, no. Not in any sense of the word from this seat. You did not defeat that woman. You know. That's why Valentina's not the champion right now. She's not the champion because Grasso choked her out and had the biggest moments in the rematch. That's why she's a champion. In other words, she conquered Valentina. People need to accept that. And Valentina, I want her to feel conquered and defeated. Because if she don't, there's nothing to motivate her to crank her game up. You see, I want her to feel defeated. And I'm happy that she lost. Because nothing else was going to get her to turn her aggression up to 10. Which is what she said she was going to do in this fight. She said, I have no choice. And she went in there and didn't do it. At what point was Shevchenko trying to end the fight in this fight, do you think? At what point do you think she was actually going for a TKO stoppage? There are multiple moments like that for Grasso. So why isn't, the people who argue that Valentina won, fine. Look, I don't care about that. I don't care if you thought she won. But I'm saying, as you say that you thought Valentina won, also point out the fact that Grasso had all the big moments. And Valentina had no moments as big as Grasso's moments. And that is relevant. That is a factor. And this is humiliation. This is embarrassing. And for the champion to end round 5 like this, and actually ended round 5 with her back in that same rear naked choke, face cranked, with her face cranked all the way to the left, further embarrassing and degrading her. We've never seen Valentina in positions like this. Do y'all know how many images we got right now of Valentina with her face distorted in very compromised positions? There are more than we need right now. There's like a lot. I just got off Instagram and I just saw some images from that fight, from the rematch that I'd never seen before. One of those cameramen actually got a image of Valentina as she was doing that backflip. Hey, kudos to that cameraman. They have those special cameras that could take a million pictures in like a few seconds. And boy, they caught Shevchenko as she was doing that backflip. And of course I can't find it now. Oh God. Of course I can't find it now. Here, wait a minute. Let me tell you, give me one more chance. Give me one more chance. I want to see if I can find this, because this is hilarious. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back here. Whoa. Bear with me here. Gotta change this. That's too bad. PowerPoint presentation. Yeah. So, people have heard my take on it. The most recent video is not available to the public for whatever reason. YouTube always does stuff like that. I think it's because there's some footage on there. That's why I'm only showing photos in this one. Yeah. Oh, did she? Oh, okay. Let me find it. Okay, somebody pointed out that Alexa Grasso is the one who uploaded that photo. Let me go to Alexa Grasso's Instagram here, if I can. Yeah. Okay, what is going on with Instagram, man? It's like you can never log on to it. And when you do, it's asking you to resubmit your information. Like every single time, try to log or resubmit. No. What are you talking about, man? All right, let me see. Let me try one more time. I'm trying to go to her Insta. Okay, here we go. Oh boy, yeah, y'all get in here. Get in here. Okay, where is it? I'm not seeing it. Because she responded to Dana White's statement that, okay, man, listen, forget it. Google, it keeps crashing. And it's not my computer. It's Instagram. Or maybe it is my computer. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one having this issue. And I can't find it on Google. That's what really frustrates me. I'm looking around on Google. I can't find it nowhere. Oh, some images none of us have ever seen. The worst images you ever want to see, man. And the thing is, we've never seen Valentina in all this type of trouble, getting hit this much, getting hit in the face this much. For a while, I said, man, it's almost impossible to hit Valentina in the face. Grasso hit Valentina in the face more times than I'm able to count. I've tried to count it 2-3 times, and I get a different number each time. Nobody's knuckles has found Valentina's face more often than Alexa Grasso, not even Amanda Nunes. Go look at Shevchenko's face after the Nunes fights. Finally, we get a fighter who's given Shevchenko a serious stiff challenge, something Shevchenko herself was begging for. And people don't want to give her the credit for the victory. Nah. I'm going to try my best. I can't change people's views, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, that's all I'm here doing. Believe what you want. I'm not criticizing people for believing that Valentina won. But man, there ain't nothing that nobody can tell me. You can't tell me that Grasso wasn't the one embarrassing her opponent, humiliating her opponent. And I think that matters. Now, was it Chael Sonnen, maybe Daniel Cormier? There's a lot that's been said about this. And I can't believe Dana White kept. I thought he refused to make immediate rematches after fights. I thought he made a rule he wasn't going to do that no more. Okay, it's in her story. Okay, I can't access that from this PC. Instagram messing up anyway. But he did exactly what he said he wasn't going to do. Announced it, and then he said, y'all hear what else he said? He said he's going to have an event on Mexican Independence Day every year from now on. So he's pulling a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book. He understands how smart it is to hold events on that date. See, they already do that in boxing. Who started? I think that was Oscar De La Hoya who started doing that. And then Floyd, I think, picked it up from him. Yeah, she got mounted. That's another thing. In the 5th round, Valentina was saved by the bell. She was saved by the bell, man. She was in a horrible position. Okay? Look, I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just saying, I get it. And honestly, when you look at the fight as a whole, using like 1FC standards, clearly Grasso won that fight. And I'm not seeing enough people who are making the argument that Grasso won that fight. Why? There's plenty of reason to believe that she won. You know, it's like Valentina's been so dominant for so long, it make it easy for people to deny her opponents a victory or success. I don't know, or sort of downplay their success against Valentina. Nah. That, you know, you'll be wrong at that point. Yeah. No, Luca. Luca pointed out that I've made so many videos about this fight. You probably just came into the chat room. I made a video yesterday and it's not available anymore on my channel. So one of the videos that I made about the fight, I don't have it no more. And I don't think any of you can access it. You remember that one I made yesterday? On the thumbnail I wrote, "Are Shevchenko fans unreasonable?" That was the thumbnail. That's what the thumbnail said. You see it's not on my channel right now, right? And I don't think any of you can access it either. So they disabled that video because there was some video footage used in it. So I said a lot of things in that video that I wanted to reiterate in this video, seeing that they've made it unavailable for several people. Yeah, a lot of people, they're unable to see that video. I'm always getting flagged and whatnot here on YouTube. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out without the video footage. Just reiterate what I was talking about in that video, that Valentina was badly humiliated, badly embarrassed. Okay, I pointed out fraternity and Masonic humiliation rituals. There is a reason why they conduct humiliation rituals. Nothing belittles you like humiliation. Being embarrassed, that nothing compares to that. Being made to look powerless and subjected to somebody else's authority is an entirely different experience. Grasso had Valentina in positions like that more than once. Shevchenko has not yet put Grasso in a position like that. Valentina has not yet unleashed the type of offensive arsenal, flurries, attacks that Grasso have launched successfully on her. If you asked me, Alexa Grasso is the deserving sitting champion, no question. She conquered Valentina, stopped her in the first fight, and whooped her ass in that rematch. You can keep your 2-3 jabs. That is all for this live stream.